Good morning, 6:42 here on this snowy Tuesday morning. Glad to have you with us. Now, it seems fitting that the Philip Howard that lives next door to the home once owned by Charlie Russell is in Cascade.
That's right. That's because Howard could be considered an artist when it comes to his fine furniture that's featured in Montana homes as well as across the nation. In this week's Montana Made, MTN's Tim McGonigal visits the unassuming workshop of the man who loves the solitude small-town life can bring.
The specialty that I have is that I'll try it.
Phil Howard calls himself a recluse. The self-taught furniture maker from eastern Montana has been sought out by buyers from Big Sky to the Big Apple.
I have this desk, but it has these carvings on it and stuff. And who are you going to get to carve that? And I said, I'm going to carve it. One of them's in the Rockefeller Center now. So, you know.
His college days were spent in the philosophy department at U of M.
There wasn't anything else I really was interested in studying other than studying how we think and spending time thinking about thinking, which is what I do as a furniture maker.
After a stint in the Merchant Marines in southeast Texas, he made his way back to Montana, where his love for backpacking led him to the Bitterroot and the Bob Marshall Wilderness. His early career as a carpenter took him to Choteau, Sheridan, and Dillon. It was there he discovered the writings of woodworking guru James Cranoff.
And it was a lot about lifestyle and how you wanted to live. And what he told people, if you're trying to sell your work, he says, talk about the wood.
The 61-year-old later moved his family to Ennis. Word of his woodworking skills got around, and he was hired to do a remodel at the bank. That led to a job offer from the town vet.
Basically said, would you spend my life savings and build me a house?
From the shingles to the stone and stucco to designing the home, it was also there where he found his flair for making furniture.
But I built chairs in the same style, not the same size as these. My first chairs, which are still the most comfortable wooden chairs I've ever sat in, and people still tell me that.
To give his kids a broader taste of culture, he moved the family to Bozeman. That was 1994, and the timing was right.
There was those subdivisions that had gone broke in the late 80s, and then it was changing around. And there were two interior designers at that time, and they both hired me. I started making furniture.
Before leaving Bozeman in 2014, he took part in a major remodel at Holy Rosary Catholic Church, redoing the altar furniture.
That kind of makes it all worthwhile to have your work in a place like that that's quasi-public, that's going to be cared for and has spiritual meaning to people. It was fabulous.
But Howard says he's always preferred small-town life, and after searching for several years, he agreed to refurbish a dilapidated building in Cascade.
Cascade is like living in a national park without any of the national park stuff. I mean, and my neighbors give me access to both sides of the river, so when it gets too intense in here, I can just step out into the great wide open. This is Brazilian rosewood.
His works can be viewed on his website, which has drawn interest from as far away as Kuwait. He likes to finish many of his pieces with exotic veneers.
It's on the site list. It can no longer be imported to the United States.
Howard, who is also an accomplished triathlete, says he's always been a worker and will continue to be until the day he dies.
Epitaph would be Phil Howard, either just worker or Phil Howard, man on earth. Those are the only two that I could come up with.
In Cascade, Tim McGonigal, MTN News.
Now, Howard, man on earth, says the greatest demand for his work is in the Gallatin and Paradise Valleys. We have a link on our website so you can check out some more of his furniture design.